Please give them a hand again. Well, as a father of three, I'm about to get kerplunk and I'll start crying all of a sudden, so I apologize for that. I also want to thank Walgreens, if you all could give Walgreens a hand, and the Lighthouse. So let me say, and also before I can, two quick things. One is I want to thank the band for playing. And I do want to thank the people serving us food and making the food, so please give them a hand as well for their effort. So let me just say, and I also think, before I also get started, I know Alderman Roboyes is here, I think Alderman Thompson is here, and Alderman Mitchell. We can get you a seat if you want, or you can help us serve food. Either one, Alderman. There's Alderman, all three Aldermen who have been tremendous supporters of One Summer Chicago. Please give them a hand in their efforts. Let me take a step back, since this will be my last breakfast, which we always do as mayor for One Summer Chicago as the mayor. And just kind of put it in a context, if I can, of why I think it's so important. Now, if you don't know, first, when I became mayor, we created One Summer Chicago. It didn't exist. And our employment in summer activities for children and youth in Chicago was 14,500. Last year we finished, and every year it increased, the largest summer Chicago employment program and the largest summer employment program in the United States of America, 32,000 kids. And the three aldermen know this, and Lisa knows this, who also runs One Summer Chicago and runs the family services and a whole host of services that we provide, whether that's in the homeless area, youth services, One Summer Chicago, domestic violence, a whole area of helping people in the city. Every budget, and every year in my budget, even in tough fiscal times while we cut other areas, made other reforms, we added children and youth to our One Summer employment. So while we were making other decisions, we never did it on the backs of our kids. In every budget, summer youth, and summer jobs, and after-school programs, we added thousands of children every year while we made other changes in other parts of the budget. For too long, in my view, the City of Chicago's budget reflected a series of choices where we actually invested in our politics and took money out of our kids. And we reversed that flow in the end of the day. Now, it should not get as a loss. A lot of times, the way the media covers things, they put CPS over here, youth and other services over here, and they don't connect them. Since this is my last breakfast, I'm going to connect them for you. Every year that we increased our investments in after-school and summer jobs, our graduation rate went up. Every year we invested more in our kids, not only did our graduation go up, so we started at 56%. Last year we finished at 78.2%, and our freshman on track is 90% in the City of Chicago. It is the highest and fastest growing graduation rate of any urban school system. Our graduation rate for the last 5 consecutive years grew at 3.5 times the national rate. So we weren't just coasting with the United States of America, we were setting the pace for graduation in the United States of America. And we just reported, just the other day, on Monday, that 66% of our kids, 2/3, now go to college. And that sometimes gets reported over there. Our teachers are doing a phenomenal job. Our principals are doing a phenomenal job. But we all know, and now I'm not speaking as mayor, I know as a father, it's not just from 8 to 3:30. What happens after 3:30 when the bell goes off? What happens when the bell goes off in June before it starts in September? That counts. It is not an accident that every year that Chicago Public Schools students' reading scores, math scores, graduation rates, college attendance, and attendance at schools has gone up. Our investments in after school, summer jobs, mentoring, a teacher at every library across the City of Chicago, media, reading at our Park District summer camps. The entire investment portfolio across the system was investing in our youth. And our youth are showing that if you raise the bar, they don't meet it, they exceed it. And we should take immense pride in what we as a city have done. Not only did we repair the budget, but we actually, a lot of politicians like doing this, budget reflects values. We went from 14,500 kids to 32,300 kids. If you don't get a chance, look at the pamphlet Lisa and her team has developed. You can see their attitudinal change. But the most important statistic is that when you actually ensure that the education of a child does not just happen at school, it happens at the playground. It happens after school if there's an activity or not. It happens in the summer if they have a job or not. If they don't have a job, they're learning too. It may not be what you want them learning, but they're learning. If they have a job with a paycheck and a values and a place where they get value, like we just saw in the Walgreens video, guess what? They're thinking of their future, they're applying to college, and they stay on the straight and narrow, which we would all want as parents ourselves. And too often here in the city, Chicago Public Schools is reported over here, Youth and Family Services are reported over here, summer jobs are over there, after-school programs are over there, libraries are over here, Park District is over here, and they think they're siloed efforts. In the end of the day, what we have done over the last 8 years, and I say we, this should not say, although I appreciate it, thank Rahm Emanuel. I want to thank all of you. This is us, together, ensuring that we actually look at our children as our children. We look at them in the way we would look at our own children. We look at them in the way that we would invest, which is why it was crazy to be the only big city in America to not have full-day kindergarten for every child in the city when I became mayor. When I leave, not only does every child have full-day kindergarten, every child now will get full-day pre-K. We've added 2 additional years to their education, just like we would do at our home. What we ensure is like we have done this summer. I used to take the train in the summer with my middle daughter, Alana. She was going to work. I would be on the train. She would try to talk to me. I said, don't interrupt me, I'm reading. Just like a good father would do all the time. But don't kid yourself, that routine, when she saw me every morning getting up, that routine of going to work, that routine of being respectful, that routine of having a schedule, that routine of actually producing your work and going beyond is also implored. And if other children and other students do not have it, what is summer jobs, what is Walgreens, what is all your different community groups providing? The exact same structure we provide to our own children. And the biggest transformation we've done as a city, not just bringing and linking Chicago Public Schools, libraries, parks, community groups, summer jobs after school. What we've shown our kids as a city is these are our children. They're not somebody else's kids. You take a look at the kids that are part of our summer jobs. You'd want them as your own sons and daughters. Just as the way they just go, what? Okay. Why are you asking? But seriously, you can see them grow. You can see their maturity, you can see the way they have the respect for the people around, and then the sense of joy and accomplishment they have when they have fixed a garden, or helped a customer at Walgreens, or know where something is that somebody else doesn't know. And they have themselves on the path to brighter, better future. And if they're on a path to a brighter, better future, the city of Chicago is on its path to a brighter and better future. So I want to thank all of you. And now I challenge you. I challenge you to ensure that nobody ever walks back from 32,300 kids. Because the real challenge to us is that, and Lisa knows this because we do this every year, and the aldermen know this, 65,000 kids apply for those 32,000 slots. One child gets a yes, and somebody else doesn't get a no. And so you have to speak up in this process and ensure that nobody ever says, oh, we got a tough budget, we're not doing this. That don't count. Because if you don't do this, you're not going to see the graduation growth. If you don't do this, you're not going to see the college attendance growth. If you don't do this, you're not going to see the SAT scores grow. So I challenge you to continue to speak up, advocate, because these are our kids. And if we're not going to do it, nobody else will. The system was set up before that it was dependent on a parent to speak up for them. Well, we're all parents, so let's speak up for the kids of the city of Chicago. So I thank you for what you do, not just during the summer, all year, giving our kids a safe place, a secure place, a place where their dreams and aspirations count, regardless of what their zip code is. And more importantly, when you hear from the kids, and every week, Lisa knows this, Amy and I would go about the city, and we would have brown bag lunches with the kids. She would go to one place, I would go another. And at the end of the day, what do you really hear from them? Not the job they're doing or the tasks they're doing. In the end of the day, you hear the voice of somebody who has confidence in themselves and believes in themselves. The very thing you would want from your own child. And that is what makes One Summer Chicago, one city with one future. Thank you.